reported to the search and recovery forces that the crew is feeling good. So everything seems to be in order despite the reduced visibility at the landing site, and we'll stay with you until we have further word and the disposition of the crew, and we'll see how the search and recovery forces intend to play out the return of the crew to the staging city of Kustanai. Now, receiving reports that 2 search and recovery helicopters have landed near the Soyuz TMA-06M capsule. So that's good news. The personnel on the ground, they will begin the process of beginning to extract the crew. Not sure yet whether or not the inflatable medical tent will be erected or whether there'll be an expedited return of the crew in those 2 search and recovery helicopters in their suits. That is not uncommon for a crew to be returned in their suits without those suits being removed in favor of more comfortable clothing. It is quite cold at the landing site today. It is Saturday morning in Kazakhstan, now about 9:31 in the morning, Saturday morning in Kazakhstan. 2 years ago, Scott Kelly and his crewmates landed in quite a bit of snow. It was a clear day at the landing site, but the winds were blowing at about 35 to 40 knots, creating almost blizzard-like conditions, even though the sun was out on that particular morning. The crew at that time did not go into the medical tent. They were loaded directly into the search and recovery helicopters and were flown back to the staging city of Kustanai for the trip back to their respective homes. This is Mission Control Houston. The initial coordinates of the landing site received by ballistics officers and Mission Control indicate that the Soyuz landed just about right at the bullseye target that it was intended to land at, just a couple of seconds off in the lat-long coordinates. So the Soyuz, despite the reduced visibility, which is immaterial for the Soyuz on its descent, landed just about exactly where it was intended to based on the landing and entry timeline profile that the Soyuz computers and the guided entry brought the Soyuz to for a landing upright on the steppe of Kazakhstan to the northeast of the town of Arkalyk. So having accomplished an almost unprecedented amount of scientific research, with a number of visiting vehicles having arrived at the station during its tenure. Expedition 34 is complete as Kevin Ford, Oleg Novitsky, and Yevgeny Tarelkin landed. Their Soyuz landing in a vertical and upright position. We still have not received an unofficial even touchdown time. We are estimating it was about 10:10 p.m. Central Time. And now we're receiving our first video from the landing site. You can see personnel bundled up against the chill of an early Saturday morning on the steppe of Kazakhstan. They have already erected that stand around the Soyuz vehicle that landed upright. We believe the landing occurred about 26 minutes ago, but we don't have an unofficial touchdown time for you. We're estimating about 10:10 p.m. Central Time. The first video from the search and recovery forces, courtesy of the Russian Federal Space Agency at the landing site. You can see the Soyuz descent module upright as the search and recovery forces and RSC Energia personnel begin the process of opening the top hatch along with the extraction of the crew. The first out should be the Soyuz commander from the center seat, that being Oleg Novitsky, followed by either Yevgeny Tarelkin or Kevin Ford. We'll see how that plays out. The Soyuz landing in good shape after a flawless entry back into the Earth's atmosphere. As the events unfolded throughout the course of the afternoon and the evening, the deorbit burn occurring on time, all of the entry milestones occurring without incident, and the touchdown occurring, as we said, some 27 or so minutes ago, with the Soyuz landing upright. That will assist the search and recovery personnel in the extraction of the crew.
Снимать как он это будет? Один работаем, одним вертолетом. Хотел сказать, а ну нас два будет два. Нет, нет, я бы...
So we're opening the hatch.
This is Mission Control Houston. Again, video from the landing site. This is live. You're looking at search and recovery personnel and RSC Energia technicians as they begin the process of opening the top hatch of the Soyuz vehicle to extract the crew. The landing of the Soyuz in an upright position occurring about 29 minutes ago. We do not have an unofficial touchdown time. We're estimating that the touchdown occurred about 10:10 p.m. Central Time. That is just a wag at this point. But you can see how fog and low clouds and almost zero visibility descended upon the landing site after a low pressure system and a cold front moved through Kazakhstan, creating clear skies during the overnight hours on Friday for Kazakhstan into Saturday morning. Over the course of the last 2.5 hours, those conditions deteriorated, however, obviously due to a fairly dramatic dew point that descended at the landing site. That thwarted the effort of most of the search and recovery helicopters from reaching the landing site. To the best of our information, 2 search and recovery helicopters with the most critical personnel arrived on scene. You can see those personnel attending to the Soyuz vehicle at this moment.
Дадим потом планшет. Все сдадим. Какая энергия отдаст планшет? Володя, осторожно, нос в груди. Нос, Олег, Все, ниже. Вот.
Ефимович.
ПМ так и не подошли, да?
ПМ далеко еще.
Далеко, да?
Нет, тяжелый.
Вот вроде и снег не глубокий, да?
Отсюда, наверное.
Да.
Она там на Бузова не сядет.
Нет, на пузо она не сядет.
Да, он небольшой.
Не, ну правильно, машина приезжает всегда.
Это вообще от машины вкусно, да?
Тем более мы это сейчас срочный груз отсюда повезем на 12.
Да, срочный груз на 12, да?
Успеем.
Когда вы приедете? Ну, мы дождаться будем.
Вы тоже дожидаетесь? Да. Мы как заберем их?
Будем дождаться. Ничего не будет. Ну это когда было объявление, я помню.
Все? Дайте. Володя! Володя! Валюта! Давайте. Здесь что доставать будет, да?
Самое главное, их не поморозить.
Это в контейнере.
Сейчас пресс, Да. Кстати,
Давайте.
Ты что эфир-то забиваешь, Аля?
Operating in very dismal weather at the landing site, with temperatures hovering around the 5 to 10 degree Fahrenheit mark. The search and recovery forces and the RSC Energia personnel now working to open the top hatch of the Soyuz vehicle. The Soyuz landing upright. The stand, as it is called, placed around the top of the descent module. This is equipped with a slide that you can see on the right side of this stand that will enable the crew members, once extracted, to be carefully helped down to the surface, where all-terrain vehicles you can see in the background are standing by. We're waiting to hear further information as to how the crew will be dispositioned, whether there will be an opportunity for them to sit for a while in reclining chairs, or whether or not they'll be brought immediately to these helicopters that did make it on the ground for an expedited flight back to Kustanai. And now we're looking at the first of the crew members being extracted from the vehicle. We believe that that is should be the Soyuz commander Oleg Novitsky.
Ефимыч, уйди с экрана, а?
Голову!
Just be careful.
Ефимыч!
Так, на центр! Давай мы прикроем люк. Я прикрою люк, попробуй сам.
It is 9:44 on a Saturday morning at the landing site to the northeast of the town of Arkalyk. The first of the 3 Expedition 34 crew members has been extracted from the top of the Soyuz vehicle and helped down that slide. Personnel now working to extract the second of the 3 crew members.
Спокойно, не торопись.
Блин, не вижу.
Let's go.